Hola, ¿cómo estás? And welcome to my truck. I don't know, yeah, no, I got garbage to throw out. Anyways, this is my living space. I got a couple of bananas that are nice and ripe now. They got to be eaten. Ooh, baby. Okay, so today's trucking tools of the trade. And I know some of you are thinking tools, you're thinking physical tools for repairing stuff. But no, I'm talking about tools that are required for living in the truck. And these are just some of the things that I have personally that I think some of you may benefit from as far as the information goes and what you could use for living in the truck. Because I know I get asked all the time, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I cook this? How do I cook that? Blah, blah, blah. Cooking. Oh, well, there you go. That brings us on today's particular video, which is cooking in the truck. And some of the things I think you need. Okay? And we're going to start off with the first one. And we're going to do it in order what I think is of importance. There's 2 items that you should get. Well, actually, it's a total of 3 items, but inexpensive. The first item I think you should get for those of you who like to drink coffee and don't have an issue with instant coffee, although you can still use this for making regular coffee with regular coffee grounds and a filter, which I don't use. I just use instant coffee. But that item would be the kettle. Okay? You can see it is 12 volts, so it plugs into the AC outlets, DC outlets, whatever the hell you want to call them, DC outlets, I guess. I don't know. That plug there, that's what it plugs into. Okay, so the GoPro kettle I find is the best one out there. There is the one from Burton. It's a square one. I don't like it as much. I find it burns out too easy. This one I've had for several years now. The one before this I've had for a couple years. I do burn through them. This one's getting close to being replaced. They're about 20 bucks. 24 bucks regular, 20 bucks on sale. They're definitely worth the investment even if they only last a year. But these last usually a couple of years. I had one that lasted 4 years once. So, but anyway, this is great because you can boil your water for your coffee. You can also boil water for doing other things. And I've showed it in past videos where you can actually just use the boiled water from that to make hot dogs. For those of you who want to eat hot dogs, and there's a couple other, those of you younger guys, I can't stand them. Those ramen noodles and those kind of noodle type dishes where all you have to do is add hot water to it. Perfect for it. And those noodle dishes are super cheap, but they're super high on sodium too, so I don't eat them at all. But some of you guys I know you do. So this is the perfect cooking tool for that. Like I said, about 20, 25 bucks, and you'll have one. Take care of it. Do not cook food inside it. Only use it for boiling water. It says, I know on the package, you can cook soups and whatnot in it, but don't. It really messes up the element inside. Very hard to clean. Okay, so just keep it that for that. All right, so moving along to the second most important item I think that you guys should get in that order. And that would be the lunchbox stove, okay? GoPro has one, Burton has one. Burton is the more expensive one, and Burton has 2 styles. This is the lunchbox version, okay? Just pop her open for you, and you can see inside. It's got the cooking surface. This is what heats up right here, okay? Locks right down, and your food cooks up. You're saying, well, I don't want to put my food in there raw. Well, you don't. The other item you need with this, or should get, is the tin foil loaf pans, okay guys? You get them at Walmart. They're not very expensive. Actually, the dollar store has them. Actually, a better buy. Put your food inside here, put it inside, close it up, lock it up. It's like a slow cooker, okay? It cooks at about 250 degrees, 240 degrees, I believe. In that neighborhood, it is also a 12-volt plug-in. Now, when pulling your plug out of the socket, don't pull by the cord like I did. And then you'll be replacing the plug like I did. So this is a replacement plug on here. Not a great job taping it up, but yeah. So the original plug was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't defective or anything. I constantly would just grab the cord out of the back socket there, yank it out, and eventually it screwed up. So anyway, always grab it by the plug itself to do it. Now, this one here, I believe, if I remember correctly, I paid $34.95 for it. The other version of the Burton is more like a slow cooker, and it's a digital one. I think it cooks up to like 350 degrees, but it's more square. Those loaf pans do not fit, okay? So keep that in mind. These loaf pans will not fit in the other version. However, you can use, and I've heard several people say this, you can use the cooking bags, okay? And line it with the cooking bags and then cook in there. It's also got a steam tray in there, which is good for steaming vegetables if you want. That's one that I may look into getting at some point. But anyways, so the two really biggest important ones to get, because you can cook a lot of leftover meals in here. You know, just all gets mashed together, put it in here and cook it. Heat it up 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the consistency. So the two important ones are the kettle and the lunchbox stove. Now RoPro has their version also. It's about the same price, maybe a little bit cheaper. They both work good. I prefer the Burton. It's the original one, okay? So these are the two to get. You're going to spend about 60 bucks combined, $50 to $60 combined. It's going to save you a shitload of money on the road as far as food goes. Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but this little thing can cook a ton of stuff. I'm telling you right now. And you're going to love it, and you're going to thank me for it. Yes, you will. Okay, so let's move on to the last cooking item that I use. The last cooking item comes in a nice little black case. You can get this same item at Walmart. You can get it at Canadian Tire here in Canada. Any camping store. This one's Burton. You can buy it at the truck stops throughout the U.S. That's why I bought this one here basically when I was running the U.S. and I wanted it, and I I was being too, can't even hold the camera. I was being too lazy just to go to a place to save, you know, $10, $15 so. But anyway, okay, so let's open it up. I know what you're saying. There we go. It is a single burner butane stove. Once it is out of the case, there she is. Mr. Max, or whatever the heck it says there. Yeah, Mr. Max. Burton Mr. Max. Excellent, excellent item. It's metal, okay? It's not plastic. The top removes easy for cleaning and for part replacement if you want to. Very sturdy. This opens up, and what you put in it is the butane gas aerosol canisters. You can buy them at the truck stops. This one I replenished at Canadian Tire. Okay, so we just take the top off, put it right there for now. It inserts very easy. You got a little groove there. Just set it in, put it down, and lock it in place, okay? Now, I do not recommend cooking on your counter. I do not recommend cooking on this counter, okay? Get yourself a wooden folding tray, okay? I've got mine tied to the back of my passenger seat, as you can see. Just because it does get hot under here and it does need proper ventilation, okay? For underneath here. You gotta remember, it is going to be an open flame. However, for this demonstration, I'm just going to leave it right here. Now we've got it locked in place. Turn the knob. Automatic igniter. And always cook on the lowest possible heat. Therefore, your food will not burn. Remember, it's an open flame. We're going to turn it off right away. It's an open flame, so it cooks a lot harder. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you guys are saying, is that allowed? This is butane. Butane does not put off the fumes, okay? There is no odor or anything deadly like, as far as the fumes go, like propane, okay? I do recommend cracking your window a little bit. Now, the other side's not cracked right now, but crack your window a little bit anyways. It's safer that way. You get a little bit of cross air, a bit of ventilation. These things do get warm. And that's why I recommend putting it on the folding table right here in the middle. It's wood surface. You don't have to worry about it melting, okay? It's that simple, okay? This thing cooks awesome. To release, you just lift up the handle and never leave this in, okay? Store it separate. That's what the recommendation is. That's what you should do. Hopefully this video is turning out with me holding this camera the way I am and all the extra noise that goes with it. Okay, so a couple of items that you will need to take with this to buy also. Frying pan. Excellent idea. You can fry up pork cutlets. You can fry up anything. Really, what I do recommend is don't get anything too thick. Make sure it's, you know, of fairly thin, smaller sizes. It'll cook up a lot faster. You don't want to leave this thing on for, you know, 40, 50 minutes because it gets warm, okay? I personally, this is only my personal thing. They say it can handle it, no problem. But personally, I don't like it getting that hot. So when I cook with this thing, I make sure it's a 10, 15 minute deal. That's it, that's all. Also, something else to get is the pot. Okay. Oops. I got a locking lid on this one. and it's Teflon coated inside. Okay, makes for real easy cleanup, and the pan itself is a diamond coat. Okay, real easy for cleanup. And these are the extra items. Of course, you need a couple extra items like a whisk, which I have up here, and a flipper dippy thing, some plates, whatnot. Anyways, this Burton stove cost about $50. Like I said, it comes in a nice little carrying case, so easy to store. Boom, boom, boom. Oop, ah, there we go. And I just put it inside my cupboard here. Oh, and it's out of the way. Boom, done. And that nice and simple. Okay, so those are the three main items for cooking in the truck. There's one final item that is essential if you're going to cook in the truck. That is the Coleman cooler. Well, not necessarily Coleman, but a cooler. Electric cooler of some sort. Now, Coleman has issues, guys. I'm just going to show you the inside here real quick. I still have quite a bit of food in here. And she does pack pretty good. And I know you can't tell, but it does keep them very cold. You got to watch with the Coleman, because all the electric coolers are based off the temperature inside your truck. Alright, I decided to place you down there. I figured that might be easier. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Okay, so it's based on the temperature inside your truck, the ambient temperature, and it does it 40 degrees below that. So if you run your truck really cool all the time, the stuff in here is going to be frozen. I'm telling you right now. This thing will freeze it. So anyways, this cooler is the one that's most common right now in the truck stops. But it has a defect. The cord, or the plug, is crap in it. It melts for whatever reason. Has to do with the voltage intake on it or something. I don't know what it is. Somebody explained it to me. I didn't understand it. Whatever the key says, be prepared to replace the plug. You don't need to throw out the cooler. Just fix the plug, okay? Put a new plug on it every so often. I replace that plug probably at least once a year now. I've replaced it twice just due to my own oops. But and another thing I do recommend, I'm not going to pull it out right now, is a little splitter. Something like this, guys. Okay, I've got an extra one here. This, for whatever reason, lowers the voltage enough that the plug doesn't get overly hot, okay? And then you can also still use the same outlet for something else. I have my TV and the cooler plugged into that one there, and it works just fine. Make sure the vent on top has lots of room to breathe. Okay, a lot of trucks have the space down here for it. I've got these drawers here, but the cooler does not fit in there standing up like this because of this, and it's actually really snug on the sides. So, and there wouldn't be much ventilation here anyway. So this is actually really good. I'm short anyways. I've got a bungee here for when I drive that loops around. It just has to be enough to keep it here, right? And it never falls down anyways, because I've forgotten to put this bungee on, I don't know, a gazillion times, and it works just fine. Okay. So the cooler itself, they're anywhere from 140 bucks to 120 bucks, depending where you go. I got this one on sale at Walmart for 100 bucks at the time. So that was not a bad deal. I know Pilots have had them on sale for about the same price. So keep an eye out. So you're going to need the cooler, okay, guys? Because if you're going to cook in the truck, you need to carry food. And if you're going to carry food, you need to have a way to keep it cold. Okay, so you've got the cooler. So, wrapping up today's video, you need my opinion. And you guys can do it as you wish. Kettle first. That starts off the basics, and the Burton or the RoPro stove, lunchbox stove. Those are the two most important ones to get to start with, along with the cooler. Okay, so if you're gonna just do simple stuff with your kettle, the ramen noodles and stuff like that, then you don't need the cooler right away. But if you're gonna get the Burton and bring leftovers from home, you're gonna need the cooler right away. So you're gonna spend at least 120 bucks here. You're gonna spend at least 20 bucks here. You're gonna spend about 40 bucks on the Burton. So that's, you know, $180 right there. Plus you're gonna buy some pans and a few other accessories. So you're gonna be up to $200 to start. Okay. I recommend you get those three right away. That's going to save you. And I know you're saying, oh my gosh, I can't spend $200. But you know what? If you're out on the road, you're going to spend $200 a week on truck stop food anyways. Whether it be fast food, whatever, junk food, drinks, all kinds of crap out there that you're going to stop the truck stop for. You're going to spend about $200 a week. So basically for 200 bucks in your first 2 weeks, okay? $200 for buying this stuff. The other second week's worth of $200 of food that you'd spend in the truck stop will buy you 2 weeks worth of groceries quite easily, okay? And you'll be good to go. So anyone who says, oh, I can't afford it, it's too expensive right off the bat, wrong. $400, okay, you're going to spend in your first 2 weeks on the road. This, including groceries, is going to cost you about 400 bucks, maybe a little bit less depending on how you eat and how you shop. Alrighty, that's it. That's all for the video. I know, I finally stopped. Go figure. Okay, there you go, guys. You have it. You heard it. Do it.